They said the title. They said the Odd Taxi title. I don't know. Isn't it supposed to be a bad thing when a show actually says the title of the show? Yeah, Dobu said that he's calling this whole plan the Odd Taxi, or that he's the Odd Taxi. But yeah, I'm glad the show itself is acknowledging that Dobu's a good guy. His little conversation with Shirakawa and Otakawa, and they kind of mention the idea that, you know, he has his own sense of justice, and seemingly they think that he's a good guy. So I'm happy about that, because that means that there's some hope for him in the end, and that I've actually grown to like the guy. But yeah, they also kind of try to make us like the manager of Mystery Kiss, which is interesting. Seemingly that he's kind of being forced to do it. Of course, they were kind of showing that with a lot of the interactions that he had with one of Yano's men. This idea of, you know, him kind of stressing over what's happening and still caring about what happens to Mystery Kiss, and him getting the crap beat out of him for it. But yeah, hopefully there's some hope for him as well. As always, that conundrum with shows about criminals, and you see the ones that are kind of being forced to do what they're doing, or they got in too far and they can't get back out, and having that out possibly for them is always kind of cool. So, but yeah, this episode was really packed. It felt like an hour-long episode because there's just so much stuff that happened within it. Of course, we had Otakawa kind of continuing to almost weave together this plan to take down these people, while at the same time hopefully helping those that are with him. Of course, he has the interaction with Yamamoto, the manager of Mystery Kiss, and kind of Yamamoto's at this point is kind of trying to semi-threaten Otakawa, saying, you know, you're going to sell this to the Yakuza, and that's probably going to be bad for you. And I'm willing to use force if I need to. Haha, just joking. And this is the point in which Otakawa kind of reveals his card. He's like, you know, kind of I was rooting for Mystery Kiss, and he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, you know, he mentions the fact that he knows that Shiho's working for these Badger games, and that, you know, he's like, how do you know that? And he's like, well, my friend is AG, and, you know, I know he's dumb and everything, but he's learned his lesson. You guys have done enough against him. And this is the point in which he's kind of revealing to Yamamoto this alternate plan that he has. Like, I have a way that you can get out of this and help Mystery Kiss, but you got to work for me. You got to turn against those that you're working for. And yeah, Yamamoto's like, you know, I'm not putting my bets on a taxi driver, and he tries to take out Otakawa, but then that's when Shirakawa shows up and does her crazy jiu-jitsu stuff. I know it's not jiu-jitsu, it's capoeira or something like that, capoeira dancing, fighting style, and kicks the crap out of him. And then, yeah, that's when them together kind of threaten Yamamoto and get him to kind of acknowledge, you know, yeah, this is an option that you have to help Mystery Kiss. Yeah, you're probably going to get charged something, but at least you can get out of this. And seemingly, it seems that Yamamoto is going with this, because we'll get a call later where he calls up Otakawa and lets him know the plan. This matches up with what Dobu's saying is going to happen, and he tells him, yeah, look, when you go in there to get that money, you're going to check one suitcase, check another one, because it's going to be counterfeit. And then you can call and you can tell them that you're blackmailed, and you can get out of this. Yeah, like I said, I do like this aspect. Yamamoto, again, I'm kind of growing to like, because he is that guy that's kind of in that situation that he doesn't want to technically be in, but he is at this point. So, yeah. Of course, on the side of Otakawa and Dobu, again, Dobu is kind of laying out his plans, what he's planning on doing in order to get this money. He knows they're going to go in there. He's already gotten information from the bank that they're going to have, you know, 10 suitcases, one that's going to be real, and then 9 are going to be fake, and then he's going to get the 9 fake ones, and later on still the remaining suitcase. And he's like, you know, you don't want none of this money? He's like, no, I just want you to take care of this skull mask guy, and then I'll be good. And he's like, well, skull mask guy shot me, so it looks like he's got it out for me. A lot of people are saying that it was the police officer. I don't, at this point, I don't know that it's going to be the police officer, because it does make sense, because the hand was white. And when I looked at the screenshots again, the hand that fired the gun was more brighter, whereas Skull Mask guy he's got gray fur, so it doesn't match the color. But he seems to be convinced that it is Skull Mask. But like I said, I do acknowledge the fact that technically the hand coloring does imply it was one of the Daimons. So probably older Daimon, probably taking out Dobu at that point, but we'll see where that goes. They haven't revealed that quite yet. We had a cute little interaction between Otakawa and Shirakawa as they're going back home, and they're kind of doing this goofy little arguing back and forth about, you know, him needing help and her trying to help him, that he'd be dead if it wasn't for her. And being trapped up in, like I said, mentioning Dobu and how she acknowledges that he has his own sense of justice and that she kind of want to help. She wants to help out Odokawa at this point. Of course, he does make fun of the fact that she's thrown a rock through her window, and then that's when he realizes that he's being tracked by GPS, obviously probably by Tanaka, in order to find him. That's how he found him and shot up his car. I get frustrated whenever we get Yano scenes because I feel like I'm not following what they're saying. But yeah, technically on the Yano side, he did see the message by Imai, realized that it was fake because the photoshopping was terrible and that he does have the money. Says he's going to declare war against Dobu at this point. I got a kick out of later on, Yano is rapping, and this is one of those things where we're still kind of playing off the idea of this being all in Odokawa's head, that they're all animal people. And if it was kind of interesting, I'm almost wondering if the writer is trying to throw people off and it's not going to work, but Yano specifically, when he's rapping, he says something to the effect that he's going to peel back his disguise and stab him with his spine. He's going to steal all of his money and then cry like a porcupine. And it's like one of those ones where it's like, is it acknowledging that he's a porcupine, or is it one of those ones of like, he says like a porcupine, again, translation stuff there, but is it technically trying to throw people off like, oh, he's acknowledging that he's a porcupine, or no, he's just being theoretical, like I am a porcupine, theoretically. So I did kind of find that funny. When I seen that, I immediately jumped at it, but then when he said like a porcupine, I'm like, this is trying to mess with us. This is trying to mess with us for sure. Odokawa did briefly talk to Kuroda in the bathhouse, which was kind of interesting. He does acknowledge that he does know that it's Odokawa, and it seems like the boss is trying to figure out from Odokawa, like, what does he want? And Odokawa kind of mentions that he doesn't want money. He just wants to repay those that have helped him along the way. So this is kind of a little interesting brief moment between the two of them, acknowledging the fact the guy has tattoos and he scares people off. As it stands now, what it seems like is Dobu's idea of the whole situation with the bank robbery is going to be that his insiders are going to set up 9 fake briefcases. They're going to take the 9 real ones and run off with it, and later on grab the other one from older Daimon. Of course, on Odokawa's side, he's planning on having Yamamoto check a second briefcase. That way Yano freaks out and then they have an uproar and the police will come and take them. Obviously he wants Imai to play along with it. He says, you're going to come get you, just go along with it. They're going to keep you captive for a little bit while until the money's ready, and then you're going to be able to go in there and just keep your head down, kind of thing. So everything's really building up at this point. A lot of things building up to this point. Seems like Odokawa's getting a lot of insider. He has a lot of control of the situation, but we're still yet to see how well that's going to go. Of course, the big thing at the very end of the episode, obviously, they identify the body that was found in the bay. They claim that it is the missing mystery kiss girl. And very interesting, at the very, very end, during this news broadcast, Odokawa turns and says, "You're wrong." Well, the Japanese phrasing is, "I think you're wrong." Probably saying you're wrong that it is the girl. The translation that they put on the screen is, "It's not her." So yeah. Why are they identifying it's her and yet it's not supposed to be her? I'm kind of wondering if this is one of those things where it goes in deeper into the policing, that somebody inside that got rid of her made them identify her incorrectly, or again, if this is Odokawa thinking that she's not dead, and that she's still alive in his head, but she's not actually alive. So it's going to be really interesting to see where that goes, but yeah. That's definitely brewing as well. I am really curious. It does seem like in the preview it does show this girl, so I'm hoping this will be kind of the moment where we'll reveal what's going on there, because we don't really know much about that. That's like, well, the one thing that seems to be threaded throughout the entire series, that we just don't know anything about it. And so it'll be curious to finally get into that. It seems like obviously Nikaido's directly involved with that. It does seem like she's in the picture as well. So I'm looking forward to next week to see what the real story is behind this girl and Nikaido's involvement and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it has something to do with Yano in the end, because Yano doesn't seem like a good guy. Yeah, again, we still don't know anything what happened to Shiho. I'm still wondering what the heck happened to Shiho, but we'll see. Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my impressions of episode 10 of ODDTAXI. Looking forward to more, and you all take care.